Where did that come from?
You don't ever lose hair. It just moves.
It moves,
to other parts of your
right.
body, just like
Yes.
Yes.
So
moves.
then what's happening with me is that it's sucking itself
I feel like you have
in.
a
It's
gray head.
gaining
I can't
power.
see. I don't see. I feel like you have gray hair. I can't see.
Yeah, that's why I said I never noticed that his hair was.
Do you have?
No, well, it's the spot back
Okay,
here.
I can't. I don't
The
know.
traditional. There's two spots, right? It goes back.
Right. Yeah.
For some, I don't have that, which is maybe
I didn't notice. Maybe that's why.
You get your power stripes in the front, and then you get your
power stripes.
yeah. See, I'm not striping, but I've got the whatever the hell the
Crowning?
crown.
Yeah.
You're crowning.
I'm crowning like a fresh newborn.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Ew. Excuse me. First of all, I assume I'm the only guy in here. We're probably filming this, aren't we?
It's rolling.
I assume I'm the only guy in here who's seen a baby being born.
I saw it on a video.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
That's cool.
it's crazy. Like when my kids were born, like the doctor's like, I think the first time she's like, "Do you want to like?" I'm like, "I don't want to be in like the like,
building
in that seat." No, I want. I had to be in the building. My job was chief massager. My job was DJ. So I had all the stuff that my wife wanted, and also like kind of like a meditation coach. Like she was working on all these breathing exercises, so I'm like doing them with her, and we were tapping into some spiritual stuff. But I didn't want like that angle. I didn't want this angle.
Right.
However, so I was like, by her side, and the doctor's like, okay, this happened. I'm like, oh, let's go. And I just started crying. Like that was my first reaction. Like I just started like bawling, crying, like when my kid was born. I guess it's such a foreign thing. So yeah, it is kind of disgusting too. And it's not like he was like excellent looking. It's
Right.
like, it's
They're like little aliens.
still mutant, but like you're witness.
But you own it now.
Yeah, you own it. And you're witness to something that, I don't know of anything more magical. Like, whether it doesn't always feel that way or whether it doesn't get that shine on it. It's freaking amazing. Like, and it reaffirms my feeling that I'm very happy I'm not a woman.
Right.
Oh.
Correct.
Dude, how good was going to Vic's the other night?
I always forget about that place, and then whenever we go, I'm like, oh, why am I sleeping on this? It's good.
Bill was with us. Shout out to Bill Schlavis. Rob, not in attendance. He missed out on the Vic's. But I want to give a shout out to Vic's Tomato Pies in Bradley Beach. We did some pies. We did a nice chopped antipasto salad.
It was good.
Dude, those are the best.
Yeah, the crust is excellent.
Yeah, so there's some... Does anyone know what their crust is made of?
Word on the street is it's sourdough.
Yeah, the word on the street is a sourdough. Oh, anyway, I appreciate you coming in, man.
Yeah,
this
man. Thanks
is
for
very
having me.
cool. Enjoying some coffee. You're a coffee guy, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you have like a problem with it? Like, is it?
No.
So I know you don't drink booze.
Yeah. No, I mean, I try to limit myself. I just like the taste of it is the problem. So I'll drink it all day, but you can't really do that. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Yeah. There's a
2
lot of
cups.
people who will drink or eat something for the effect. You just like the flavor.
Yeah, I just like the flavor. Yeah.
This is from. I'm gonna give out another shout out. Asbury Roastery.
Oh, is it?
So shout out to Allie,
Very good.
who I'm trying to get on the show here. She said, "Talk to me in March." So I'm gonna talk
Almost.
to her.
Yeah.
Talk to her in March.
Yeah, they're good.
You're speaking of Asbury Park. We were hanging out the other night, talking about your experiences in this area. I know you live in this area. You live in Asbury Park right now, but you were talking about the scene. You were talking about Asbury Park, 2002 to 2009, approximately.
Yeah.
There was a place called the Asbury Lanes. I know that some people watching right now know that place, but there was a culture that was going on in that time, and I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that culture.
Yeah, I mean, from what I experienced, it was pretty much the only place around that really catered to like punk rock and rockabilly type of music and like, I don't know what you would call it, but there was a guy that had a hand in bringing that place back to life, Asbury Lanes, and he was big into hot rods and custom cars. So that
Talking
kinda,
about Mel.
Mel,
Yeah, let's shout him out.
yeah, Mel and Jen, they kind of resurrected the place, and they really turned it into a great spot to have a lot of great events at. A lot of awesome bands came through, and it was just like where we went with our cars. Like on a Saturday night, you would just like drive your hot rod there, and there was always some band that was going to play that you didn't know or that you wanted to see, and it was just like a good time. It was like the destination for some reason, which the town to me always seems to be that, whether it be like for what we're doing or I don't know, that town is so interesting to me because it has like these little pockets of subculture all the time, and they all seem to like gravitate towards Asbury.
That's a good point. Asbury is, I mean, my relationship, I guess, with the town, socially probably started, I don't know, when I was about 15.
Yeah, mine too.
I started playing shows and whatnot. And anyone who knows Asbury, anyone who's been around knows that it sort of goes through different phases. And I don't think it's like, oh, that's when it was good and that's when it was bad.
Yeah.
Not like that. Phases of investment, I think. Phases of places that are open and then places that are closed. And early on when I was hanging out there was very little that was open. And I think that's one of the seeds for certain creative cultures.
Yeah.
So yeah, certainly music and artists, but like, your world is cars. So like, what's the fit really between the punk and rockabilly kind of thing, other than maybe a look? Like, what is the real fit between those two subcultures? I can see why Asbury would be a host to it.
Yeah.
And also, it's like a lot of people just weren't crazy enough to go to Asbury for so many years.
Right, like it kept like the...
Like, I'm not going there.
Yeah.
We used to do the lanes same time period in it.
What's that?
We used to go there the same time period. It was dicey.
Yeah. Oh,
Once you
yeah.
left the lanes at night, that was it.
Sometimes a friend of ours would get a couple rooms at the Empress, like the hotel down the street, and I remember like if you missed, like a bunch of cars would drive from there to Asbury Lanes to park in front, and if like you were unlucky enough to miss the boat going back, you had to walk back to the Empress. And I remember being 15, walking like with my switchblade out in my hand, like I was gonna do anything, but because I was afraid. It was interesting, but we still wanted to go there.
I mean, that's attractive, I think, to a lot of creative types.
Yeah, like
too.
you had to earn it to like hang out there. You had to like I guess you had to earn it. Yeah.
So then what is that connection then between like the car culture that you are steeped in? I want to, obviously I want to talk about that with you, but like, since we're talking about, you brought up the music first.
Yeah, I mean, I can only speak what it is for me. And for me, it was always like those older hot rods and custom cars like that. It was almost like the punk rock version of like automotive things, I guess. So it was like on the fringes. Again, it was something that you had to earn. Like you couldn't go buy. I mean, you could, but we didn't have any money. So like you couldn't go buy an old car that looked cool, sounded cool, ran, had a radio and an interior. You had to buy like a clapped out shit box and figure out how to build it yourself, and then you put your own spin on it. And it was like a double, like you were not only like creating something and being artistic and expressing yourself via this vehicle, but you were also like had to learn a technical skill. And a lot of them, people say, oh, I don't know anything about cars. It's like, well, what does that mean? I mean, do I know anything about cars? It's like, I know how to weld, and I know how to make an engine run, and I know how to sew an interior. And so it's like all these things together, you have to like harness to put one car together. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It was, to me, that's what I always thought of, like hot rods as like the punk rock version of cars.
That makes good sense to me. Were you meeting other people from this area? Were you getting plugged into anything that was going on in this area by coming down and hanging out for those shows during those years, like, early and mid 2000s? Or were people kind of coming from all different areas?
Yeah, it was kind of like from where we were in North Jersey and then like the Philly area. So like we met a bunch of people from like West Jersey and Philly, but because they all kind of came together in Asbury.
Because I was certainly around during that time, but a long time before that too. But the music I was playing, I was trying to figure out what I was playing. I've been playing forever.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I was talking to my wife. I'm like, did I know you then? We didn't know you then. Like, what band was I in? What genre was I playing? So we figured it out. So when you started going to the lanes, I was definitely not plugged into the rockabilly or punk or car culture. I was definitely outside that. I was playing with a young lady. She was doing like really like slow, kind of ethereal, like sexy kind of music. So I was doing that. And then right after that, probably right at 2002, 2003, started playing in a rock band. But it wasn't the type of music that you'd catch at the lanes. I remember talking to Mel. It just wasn't a fit. It seemed like he kept it in a, I don't want to say a narrow lane because that has a negative connotation, but like it seemed like he knew the lane
Oh yeah,
he wanted to be in.
That's like his specialty.
Which
like he makes it make
I
sense.
respect.
Yeah, totally.
It would make no sense for me to be like, doing what I was doing
right
there. And I was totally oblivious to the car culture, as I have been most of my life. I've just been blessed to have like good friends. You're on the list of people who are plugged into that scene. I think it's fascinating. When did you get your first clapped out shit box? Those are your words.
Yeah, I was 14, or I think it was 14.
How did that happen?
I was in the library at my high school, and I was on eBay, and I found a 54 Ford for $1,800 that actually looked like it was together. And I went home and begged my mother to lend me the rest of the money. I don't remember how much I had or how much she lent me, but that was the price range. And the car was in Millville, where down near where my brother lived in South Jersey. So somehow I convinced my mother to like help me, like loan me half the money to get this car. And my brother and I went and picked it up, and it was like a fully functioning together, like decent car. I mean, it had flat black paint on it, but you could start it, and it had wheels and tires on it, and you drove it on the trailer and got it to his house. And I just immediately took everything apart, because I wanted to rebuild it and I wanted to customize it and I wanted to improve it.
Were you already working on cars at this point?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was always like building something. This was like my first like full vehicle that was like mine, but I was always like working on a car or a motorcycle or a dirt bike or a go-kart, or it's something mechanical was always happening.
And where is this car set up? So you borrowed some money from your mother. So kudos to her. I met your mom once on the boardwalk.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice woman. Shout out, Mom. So where's this car going? Like,
so
I'm trying to think of my kids coming home and being like, all right, could we put this big project we could work on?
Well, my mother wasn't under the impression that it was a project. She was under the impression that it was like a car that I was just going to drive. And I turned it into a project by taking it apart. So it was at my brother's for a couple of months, and I would go down there on the weekends and I would work on it. And I really wanted to customize the car, but I didn't have any money and I didn't have access to anything. My brother is a huge, he's like big into these 57 and 58 Plymouths. Have you ever see the movie Christine?
No.
No, have you guys seen it? So that car is a 58 Plymouth. Like my brother's got like 30 of them.
Oh, is that like the Christine is the car?
The Christine's the car.
It's like Stephen King?
Yes, yeah.
I know of it. Okay.
Yeah, so my brother has tons of 57 and 58 Plymouths, and I was working on it at his house, so I had access to his junk pile of parts he wasn't going to use on those cars. So I had a 54 Ford, but like everything on it was from a 58 Plymouth, like the door handles, the taillights, the grill, the side trim on the inside, like everything was from a Plymouth because it was the only thing I had access to.
He's older than you.
Yeah, 10 years older than me.
All right, so he had his own spot.
Yeah, he had a house
at this time.
Yeah.
So it was at his place.
Yeah, so we were working on it there. Then I got it like kind of together enough where it was like, okay, like let's bring it to my house. And I guess it wasn't as together as my mother would have liked to seen it, because I brought it home and she flipped. She was like, what the fuck? What did I give you money for? And she was mad. So I worked on it, and then, I painted it. And then by the time I was like 17, it was done. I drove it to high school every day. It was like my only car. And as soon as that was done, I went and bought another clapped out shitbox of a 58 Cadillac, which was even worse than the Ford. And I brought that home, and that one almost got me kicked out. that was like, she was like, what are you doing? She was pissed. But I built both cars, and I sold both cars for way more than I bought them for. And after like the second one, she was like, oh, okay, maybe he has it. And then she was supportive like ever since.
And where did the base knowledge come from? Like, I know, obviously, so you said your brother's 10 years older than you.
Yeah, I would watch him work on stuff with him, but a lot of it was just like I knew the concept. Like, okay, I needed to stick two pieces of metal together, so that means I needed to learn how to weld. So I just got a welder and just ruined a million pieces of metal trying to figure out how to make it work, and then you kind of stumble on, oh, it's kind of working, and then you just build on that. Talk to other people that do it, find out how they do it, look at other people's work, being critical of your own work, that's really it.
That's a key element. A lot of people are unable to be critical
Yeah, you got to
of their
be
own work. And some people are, it's the other way, overly critical
Yeah,
of their own work. Like, can't get any joy.
I'm definitely in that category for sure.
We might have some of those people in the room.
Yeah,
And then other people are constantly, maybe pointing out to you, like, you can just chill. You don't have to be all like uptight about this.
yeah.
So when we were out to dinner the other night, we hastened to use the word a scene.
Mm.
You said something. As soon as something is a scene, it's dead.
To me, at least.
To you, oh yeah, these
Yeah,
aren't.
yeah.
You're not the authority, sure.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
although maybe you'll write the book one day that people
Maybe.
will all follow. We may be the authority one day.
Yeah.
But so, what about that scrappiness of? Oh, hey, I realized I needed to put two pieces of metal together. So that means I need to learn how to weld, as opposed to maybe really just being exposed and seeing a lot of high level things and having access. It seems like you didn't have access.
Yeah, I
So you got to
didn't-
create your own access.
Yeah, like you had to make almost like create an opportunity to move on to something better. And I do remember, I mean, I was from the time I was 15 to the time I was like 18 or 19, I was always building a car, and I had always been going to car shows and like just anything automotive related I was into, but it was on a very like local level. Then when I was about like 19 or 20, I went to like a national car show, which is like where all the best builders from the country, kind of bring all their stuff there to display. And that was like a big eye-opening thing of like, oh, I'm like not even scratching the surface of what I'm doing. So
You didn't have that perspective here.
no, because it's just all local homegrown cars, which are great, but there's, there's just such a higher level of quality that was happening that I didn't even know of until I got out there a little bit more.
And is this pre like being able to just simply like watch a bunch of YouTube videos?
Oh, yeah.
And I know you can't master something by watching videos. I get that. But at the same time, you could certainly get a good sense of what you're getting into. You can get a good sense of maybe tools that you need to procure.
Sure, yeah.
Or the place, I need to do this here for X, Y,
Yeah.
and Z reasons.
Yeah, I didn't have any of that. Like there
So
was
then-
none of that.
I've met a good amount of kids who have interests in things. We all have. And sometimes there's opportunity, and other times it's just like it seems like their ideas fall flat. I guess I'm trying to figure out like what is it about you that like is not deterred from maybe not having all of the tools and opportunities.
I'm just way too stubborn.
Is that all it is?
Yeah, that's just way too stupid to know when to quit. Yeah.
But you've been around some high level, culture. I mean, at this point, how long would you say you've been working in the car industry, or what's even the right term? Like,
I guess like the automotive industry. I
Okay.
don't know. Like full time since I would say almost 15 years now, probably.
okay.
Yeah.
So pretty quickly after you were right when you were in high school, basically.
Yeah, like I worked at like a little mechanic shop part-time in high school, and then I worked at a tattoo shop while I was in high school. So like those two jobs. Then right out of high school, I got hired to play drums on tour with those bands. So I went and did that for like 3 or 4 years. And then I kind of was like a little burnt out on it, and it just didn't seem like there was like too much. I don't know, like there was like some bullshit involved with it that I didn't like. So like it just like I was like losing interest in it. And then I'm like, well, what if I got serious about cars? And then I just happened to walk into an opportunity through music. A friend of mine that had a band, he had a friend that had opened a shop, and he was like, hey, you could really use somebody like you that, can kind of do a little bit of everything. So I was like, okay, I'll meet him. And I met him and then started working there. And that was it. It was full-time car stuff from then on.
Since you were gritty and kind of doing it yourself, that allowed you to sort of have
That was
at least a medium level of all the skills needed. Because at the top of when we started talking, you mentioned everything from like, welding to upholstery.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the average person might not think like someone's doing the full range of things that could be done on a car.
Yeah, and again, that was just out of necessity. Like I was 16 and I didn't have $5,000 to give somebody to make me door panels and seat covers, but I did have $200 to buy vinyl, thread, and use my grandmother's sewing machine. So it was like,
so it was what was around. It was the resources that were around.
Yeah, you were just like making do with what you had.
When's the first time you got plugged into a higher level? So like, I assume it's, I don't want to assume anything, but when was the first time you're like, oh, I'm in like, and again, I hasten to use the word scene, but a strong culture of these things that you can almost see as mentorship. I want to talk a little bit about mentorship.
You mean in terms of like building cars, you mean?
Sure. Or if anything,
Well, we were, I don't remember how old I was, maybe like 19 or 20 or something. And myself and two of my friends built this 57 Ford that our one friend had. And we really were like trying to make something out of it. Like we're trying to finish it to a high level and really go crazy with it. So we did that. We finished the car. We brought it to a car show in Detroit, which was one of those like national shows. I was saying it was, a step up from the little local stuff. And our car was done in like a very like early 60s style of customizing. And we were parked right next to this father and son that had a hot rod that was done in a very similar style. And it was like the cars just looked like they belonged together, So I start talking to that guy, and his name's Bobby. And he's like, yeah, my son and I built this car, we're building a couple more. So, oh, cool. So the next year he has another car there, and it's leaps and bounds above what the last one was. So I was watching them improve, And then we went back the following year. And at this point, I was in business for myself, and I was a hotshot, and I had a business card. So talking to him, and I give him my business card, and I'm like, yeah, if there's anything I could ever do for you, let me know, right? Thinking I'll never hear from this guy. And then like 4 months later, he calls me, and he's like, Russ, it's Bob Hilton. I need you to paint a car. I was like, oh, sure, I would love to. So that was like the first time that like I felt like my efforts of what I was putting out there got the attention of somebody who was kind of climbing the ladder a little bit above me, and they kind of reached out and like brought me with them. So that was like the first job that I did for somebody that I was like looking up to, I guess you'd say.
Did that also give you access to, obviously ideas and grit, but you need tools?
Oh, I still did it in my little 2-car garage that was in the back of some lady's house in Saddlebrook, like it was nothing fancy at all. So I was still kind of using what I had, at my disposal at the time. And I was just trying to use it the best I could to try to make the job come out a level above what I was putting out there. Like at the time, it was like a really big deal to me. I was like, I really need to like nail this and get the car perfect. So, I don't really know if you need a whole lot of fancy tools and equipment. It definitely helps and it makes your job easier, but I feel like learning with like the bare minimum and getting to a level where you can be competitive with people that do have all the fancy stuff, that's kind of like, to me, what's impressive or where it's at.
Is that where you were starting to experience? You're like, oh, I'm coming maybe a different approach.
Yeah.
And it's getting recognized.
Yeah.
Where was, you said his name was Bob?
Bobby Hilton, yeah.
Bobby Hilton. Where's he out of?
Virginia.
So when you get a commission from someone in Virginia, how does that work? Are they sending you a car? Or are you going there? Like, how's it work?
He showed up a week later with this pile of a 1931 Ford and dumped it in my garage, and he said, "Here's some money. All right, call me in a week." And that was it.
Is that a common thing in your world?
I don't know, but I do know that when he dropped the car off, I was looking at it and I'm like, what the fuck did I just get myself in? Like, I didn't know if I could do it. I was pretty sure I could, but I was very young, and I found out years later that he told me he was driving home thinking the same thing. Like, what did I just do? Is this kid going to be able to finish the car? So, but we finished it, and it came out good, and it did its job, and everybody was happy with it. So
It takes, I think it takes some balls,
well, it's either balls or complete lack of brains, but however you
They
want
go together sometimes.
yeah, and just not fucking caring. Like, it's like, I don't care about it. I'm gonna get it done. That's it. I don't care about anything else. I'm gonna get it done.
And you generally approach everything like that.
Yeah, as I get a little bit older, I have to be careful of what I even get into because it's 1,000 miles an hour, not at all. So it's like, if I'm gonna, I mean, you saw me when we had our band and we were coming to you to produce. It was like that. I was focused on that all the time.
100%. Yeah,
100%.
you were a great person. I mean, aside from like personally to deal with, you were a great person to deal with creatively and on a business level. It was easy to communicate the things and to get what we needed to get done.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that.
Yeah. So, but that's just always like, maybe that's part of what you were asking before. That's just always how I've been. So I don't really know any other way, but I do know that like, I got to be careful what I get into because I'll go way overboard with it. And then it's like, I have to almost pick and choose where my focus goes type of thing, which I'm sure is common, but.
Does that sort of mentality, does that allow you to, and we talked a little bit about mentorship, but does that allow you to be a mentor for others? Or do you feel like it can be isolating? Like, would you want to be that person for
like
other people?
A mentor?
Yeah. Kid coming up.
I mean, if they, like, I try to always be encouraging and, like, I'll try to, like at the shop I was working at, we had a couple interns and a couple younger guys that got hired that you could tell they were into it, so like I'll always show them exactly what I learned and, try to make them do the best work that they can. But I don't know if I would raise my hand and volunteer for the position of like, I'll mentor this kid. Because to me, I'm like, I'm all fucked up. I'm going to fuck this kid up, like.
And that's not where you came from.
Right.
You
Yeah.
didn't come from that school.
Yeah.
So then what do you think, when we were out at dinner, we were talking with Bill a little bit too, and how a lot of like programs in schools, automotive, shop, like that world.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that that's even a thing anymore? Or do people have to come, in your opinion and your experience, do you have to come at it from, well, this is just my own personal drive. It doesn't matter that there are no resources. There's no infrastructure for it, or it's very little resources, very little infrastructure. Do you feel that that's a problem, or is that like not something you think about or that you hear about?
I don't know. I've never met somebody or seen somebody's work that I was so wowed with or thought was so creative and impressive and artistic that I then found out they were like highly educated and whatever it was. It's like, it's always the person that had no resources, no guidance, no nothing, and they were just kind of like let loose to do their own thing. Like, I always feel like I gravitate towards those people. So I don't know. I mean, I think that what we do, I'm like, could it be taught? Like, I don't know. Can you teach style? Like, you could teach someone how to play the guitar, but can you teach them a style? Like,
no.
Like,
well, but you can copy. I mean, there's a
could
lot to be
copy.
said for copying. I think it's a great way to learn is to copy.
yeah, it definitely starts there, right?
But at some point,
yeah, like,
when do you discard?
yeah, like, I mean, I definitely have inspirations like, automotively where, guys will build a car and I'll be, very impressed with it. And when I'm applying that to what I'm doing, it's always like, oh yeah, I saw that on so-and-so's car. I kind of like the way they did that, but I'm not like trying to, I guess maybe the concept I'm copying, but you kind of do your own thing. And then that usually leads you to something new, or something that just becomes your style. So I guess, yeah, you're right. Same thing with like playing guitar, right? Or playing drums. When I was 8, I wanted to be Lars, like in the worst way, but I didn't end up like that. But
Lars was your guy?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Do you still feeling the Metallica?
Yeah,
I like me some Metallica.
Yeah,
time to time.
I get upset when people shit on them. I don't know why. It's
I don't think you can poop on Metallica.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, they've been around forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess unless you hate certain types of metal, but that's a little uppity.
That's weird, yeah.
What do you like? What's your shit? Do you like the old school? Did you get pissed when they changed their sound, whatever that was in the 90s or whatever it was?
No, I didn't get pissed. I was kind of exposed to that first, really, like the Black Album to like load and reload. That's like when I was in like first and second grade, that's like what I got into. And then I discovered all like the earlier stuff, a couple like years later. But I always liked it all. And I was thinking about it recently. It's interesting how like when the new stuff came out, like just using Metallica for example, like Death Magnetic and Hardwired, those two albums, I listened to them, and when I first heard them, I hated them. I'm like, this sucks, and I never listened to it again. But then some time goes by, and you listen to it, and it's like, oh, that actually wasn't that bad.
I like that album. I like Death Magnetic.
Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
some of their new school stuff. It's
Yeah.
just like, it's right in there.
Yeah.
Remember how there was like, well, you're a drummer, remember how I was like, the big, people were just so pissed about Lars's drums, like the snare drum.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can't imagine caring so much that you're like, this is it. This is the final straw.
Yeah.
First it was the Black Album, and now this snare drum sound. I mean, it
Yeah.
did sound like ass.
It did.
But like, who cares?
Which I've actually been.
The guy probably can't hear. Like, there's
You
that
would hope,
too. Like,
yeah.
my hearing is like definitely rounded off on some of the frequencies,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I mean, imagine just playing stadiums your whole life, like
Yeah.
full stacks to your side. So you probably
Yeah.
it's the only way you could hear it.
I've been discovering recently that the internet is amazing and people out in the world are incredible, but these people will take like I listened to the whole album of Saint Anger that somebody like redubbed.
Oh,
I
that's
think
the one that was hated on. That was like
that's the one.
that's the one,
which
right?
I hate. I still don't really like it.
I don't like that record either.
Yeah, but somebody made a thing and it was like, I think the caption, if you look it up, it was like Saint Anger and then in parentheses like if it didn't suck. And like these people like overdid it or like changed the arrangements around and added guitars and added snares on the snare drum, and you listen to it and you're like, it's actually not that bad. It's like they only missed by a little bit. It wasn't a total catastrophe. It's like there's good stuff in there, you just have to find it and I guess present it the right way. But
Well, that's just like what we're talking about with cars. Like,
Yeah.
you're not reinventing any wheels. You're bringing wheels back. You're customizing wheels. What's like a project that you had to take that was so fucking far out? Like, not like, I don't know if I could do this, because it seems like you're obviously a modest guy, so I assume you go through a certain level of, oh God.
I never think I can do whatever it is.
Yeah, like I get that.
I'm like, this is it. This is gonna do me in. That's
What
it.
was one though that was like, okay, this is going to require all the skills plus luck plus a few favors, like something for the car people out there to sink their teeth into.
when well there was two. I was working for a really good friend of mine. His name's Rob Ida. I was working at his shop and I was doing the body and paint work by him, and we built a Tucker, a 48 Tucker, but it was like it was a hand built car, right? So if you look at the car, we never started with a real car. Like everything that you see, he built by hand, like the chassis, the body, even the wheels, the bumpers, everything.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So the project had gotten decently far along, and then it sat for a long time, and then he ended up selling it and getting commissioned to finish it from one of his customers. And he promised the car to this paint company that we were working with for the SEMA show. And I remember it was like 6 months. It was maybe like 6 or 7 months till the car had to be in Las Vegas at the show. And the car was way further away from being done than 6 or 7 months,
Like, what stage are we at? Give us a.
It's hard because it's hard to, like, I mean, it was a car, but it needed everything. Like it was a body on a running chassis, but it still needed, all the interior done, and when I say done, I don't mean like having new seat covers made. I mean like having the seats made. There was nothing there. There was no bumpers. There was no brackets. There was like, and all this stuff has to be hand fit and handmade. So he committed the car to that. And
this is at Ida.
Yeah, in Morganville. Yeah. So he was like, so he said to me and my one buddy that was working there, he was like, all right, he's like, I committed the car to SEMA. Like, are you in or are you out? And I was like, oh, I'm in for sure. But then I'm like, oh my God, I like you kind of can't, you can't really fail, because now you look like an idiot to this paint company. You look, I'd make the shop look bad. So it was like, that was the first time that one of the first times I'd say that was like 1,000% focus and dedication and just going, like, not even thinking about normality in any way. Like, oh, we're gonna work like, I'm not gonna say how many hours I'm gonna work today. We're just gonna keep working until we're done doing with whatever we're doing. And sometimes it was 20 hours. Like, sometimes you stay at the shop all day long and all night long. Like, it just not even thinking about time or anything like that. So that was like, and we got the car done and it got there and it was well received and everybody liked it. So
But that was like maybe one of the highest pressure situations.
yeah.
And Tucker, I mean, so for old timey car people, I mean, that's a heavy name.
Oh yeah.
There was
sure.
a movie.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't there?
I've still never seen the movie.
I don't know if I did. You guys ever see Tucker? Right, it was called Tucker, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. Yeah.
Man in his dream.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Okay.
Yeah. I never watched it. Yeah. But so it was that car, and then the next year, maybe, or a year later, we restored an actual Tucker, and that was the same thing. It was like a huge project, tore the car down to nothing, and then the car got invited to Pebble Beach, which kind of, I think, if I remember correctly, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, we weren't really aware that, like, Pebble Beach was going to feature that car, and then this one got invited, and it was like, oh, we have like 8 months to do this, and it was like, the car was 2 years away from being done, so it was like, okay, well,
Sounds like the previous situation.
same thing, yeah. And
Except
it was,
with an extra month,
yeah, an extra month, and
which probably doesn't feel like that's great.
no, yeah. So it was the same, just
So is everything getting made in house? Like,
oh yeah, yeah,
that's astonishing to me. You showed me around that shop once, and it was amazing. Like,
yeah.
some of these fabrication machines, like, oh, just cutting metal here. This is where metals and sheets are being cut. They're
Yeah.
shaving metal shavings everywhere.
Yep.
Does it have to be done that way to keep it sort of as legit as you want to keep it, or it's just that costs would balloon out of fucking control if you had to send out for whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like we are the send out. Like, someone's sending it to us because there's,
You're the end of the line.
yeah, like, who else is going to do it, type of thing. And I mean, like, all that sheet metal fabrication and stuff like that was, like, I was in charge of, like, I received the car after that stuff happened. So to watch those guys do all that metal work, it's incredible. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to cut this big section out of the car and then take a flat sheet and roll it through a wheel and bend it and hit on it. And all of a sudden it's a piece of the car that they're welding together. It's like, it's crazy, but I don't know how else you would do it. I mean,
And how are as far as specs, I assume things need to be to spec and, like, as legit as possible. But where's that information stored, since it's like some companies and some cars are so old?
yeah.
Is that readily available? That information?
Amazingly, we have crazy access. So there's two guys that we work with very closely on those cars, and their names are Mike and Sean Tucker, and they're the great grandson of Preston Tucker, the guy that started the company and, like, invented the car. Right?
That's who the film was
Right.
based on.
Yeah. So that's their great grandfather. So they have access to a lot of information, and they know, like, especially the one brother, Mike, he just knows where if you need to find something, he will find it. It's like, if you need to know which way the head of the screw is facing on the dashboard, he'll somehow figure it out. It's really impressive. Like, he's really good at, like, research and development, we call it. But yeah. So also having that name, if there's like a museum that has a collection of Tucker things, saying like, hey, Preston Tucker is my great grandfather, can I come look at your stuff? Like, they're probably gonna say yes. So we had a lot of access to a lot of good stuff because of them.
Are there museums and such sort of dedicated?
Oh yeah, yeah. The AACA museum in Pennsylvania, the whole front of it looks like a Tucker dealership, and it's actually my friend Rob's grandfather's Tucker dealership that it's modeled after. If I remember correctly, my buddy Rob that owns the shop, his grandfather owned a Tucker dealership in Yonkers, and, like, we have old pictures of it, and, like, the museum kind of, like, redid it, and that's, like, his dealership.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you send me any? Did you send me some? I mean, you sent me a few things.
Yeah, I might not. I don't know if I sent them. I could send them to you though. It's really cool.
That's
So he's got such a long history with that type of car and everything. So I guess that's, like, where his love for it came from, was that.
Are there? Can you spot a car person?
unfortunately. Well, you can spot a car person. You can spot what kind of car they like.
Tell,
Usually,
do spill the beans. First of all, how do you know? You know that I'm not. Like, that's obvious. But like, how can you spot? How do you spot a car person?
I mean, usually their car. It depends on, I guess, like what kind of car person. A lot of them are like someone that's a vegan. Like you don't have to spot them. They'll let you know. You know. How long can they go without saying it?
Oh
thing,
God!
you know?
Hey, heads up, vegans and other groups out
No
there.
offense.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah.
You know, just stop.
It's like I get it.
We get it.
Yeah, I get it.
Or you could just say, "Oh, I'm not hungry." You could just say that. I've been in places. I
Yeah.
don't like mushrooms, for example. I just say, "No, I'm good right now." I don't have to tell you that.
Yeah,
My whole experience with mushrooms,
Right. Yeah.
my whole life, and my grandmother used to make me sick with them. It's not a
Yeah.
big deal. Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're like a vegans.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, there's all different types of, some people are into muscle cars, hot rods. Some people are into exotic cars. I mean, the exotic car people, you can usually spot them because their clothing will have some sort of, if they drive a Ferrari, that fucking horse will somewhere be on their clothing somehow.
Ferrari
Yeah.
has like rabid fans. When I was in Italy with my wife and we were in Florence, I believe, and we were going to take a tour that day. I forget what the tour was, but we were in the same sort of square while other people were waiting for tours and buses, and that was like the Ferrari tour. And
Yeah.
we were like so fired up.
It's on
I
their
forget where we were
shoes.
going.
Yeah.
Where were we touring? It probably wasn't as exciting. Oh, we were going. Oh no, probably for me it was better. We were going into like where they grow all the Chianti grapes, or the Chianti region.
Okay.
I forget the type of grape. What is it? Montepulciano or
We're asking the wrong person.
Sangiovese grape? One of the grapes that's grown in the Chianti region. We were doing that, so it was quite the opposite of. But yeah, Ferrari gets tons of love.
Yeah.
Are the Italian like, as far as like the sport fast world? The Italians like they have that on lock, or is that's just like the way it used to be? Is there even such a thing anymore?
I don't know. I mean, like they're super. I mean, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and Maseratis. They're impressive cars for sure. I mean, I think for a while they had it kind of like locked down, but I don't know. I'm not like I can't. That's way too expensive for me, so I can't really afford to play with those. Like I don't know.
And
much
you don't
about
have
that
the
world.
clothes with the logos on them.
Yeah,
You're,
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
You're wearing the uniform. So
Yeah.
then, how do you present? What type of car guy are you?
I don't even want to be associated with myself.
I know you can't. I mean, I can't pin you down with anything.
Yeah,
That's why I like you. You remind me a lot of many people in my family.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't feel the need to like let whatever scream what I'm into. I honestly think that that's kind of something that maybe happens maybe when you're like a little bit younger because you want to like express like what you're into, I guess, and like there's not really like a lot of ways to do that. So
You're throwing out like, I guess you're looking for your group.
yeah, it's like when I was 16 and I had to get this Dyson Flames tattooed on my forearm. I mean, it was the coolest thing I could think of when I was 16, but now
Let me see. You got the Dyson Flames. Fuck yeah.
But now it's like, I mean, I don't regret it, but I kind of like, maybe not.
It probably fits in a lot of garages.
And that's what I don't like about it, because they're like, oh, I know what kind of guy you are, and it's like, oh yeah, okay. So now I'm in their group.
Well, there's a difference. I mean, there's a difference between a scene and like the process and the craft that makes the scene possible.
Yeah.
Meaning, so I love music. I'm a musician. I've been like in scenes, but I never felt very comfortable in the belly of the scene.
Mm.
I was always more comfortable. I would like to contribute to the stuff that makes the scene.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be here otherwise. I don't think I'd be a fan.
Right.
I honestly don't think I'd be a fan. I don't think I'd be hanging out. But I enjoy craft and process. It trumps everything. And that's the vibe I get from you. Is that... All right, you're very modest, but the work you've done, it's commanded some... I mean, I wrote a few things down. 2nd place at the Pebble Beach Concourse d'Elegance. Am I saying d'Elegance right?
I think so.
1st place at the Greenwich Concourse d'Elegance. You received the Alexander Brothers Award at the Detroit Autorama. So at that level, is it more of the craft and process people, or are there other types too? Like, do you find commonality in the echelon that you're in?
It depends. Some of those, the Pebble Beach, yeah, I guess yes. Yeah, because the people who are, judging the cars, which even that the saying that sounds ridiculous to me, but the people that are judging the cars, they are kind of specialists in that type of thing. So I guess they're kind of picking you out of we get it and we understand that you get it type of thing. That Alexander Brothers Award, that was the one we got when we were kids. That meant a lot because there was these two guys, the Alexander Brothers, in Detroit in the late 50s and early 60s, and they were pioneering custom cars and hot rods, and they were building stuff, and they saw our car and picked it out of the crowd and gave us the award. And they said, the brother Mike, he was like, if my brother and I built this car in 1961, this is exactly what it would have looked like. So it was that's awesome, because that's what we were aiming for. So it was very cool to somebody who actually created it, was being complimentary of you guys get it. That was cool.
And what are the small differences at that level? Because someone like me and maybe most people, they walk through, everything looks amazing, everything looks gorgeous, everything looks. What are the small
It's
what
so.
what are the fine details that separate at that level? You told a story the other day of needing everything to be done just right. You were in a pit crew. Someone lost. What did they lose? They lost the cap.
They lost the screw to the feeler gauges. There, it's picture a
a tiny tool,
a bunch of
where
playing cards, and there was a pin with a nut on the end of it, and the nut fell off, and we didn't know where it went.
Didn't know where it was.
Yeah.
And you're ready to go. You're ahead of schedule with this pit stop. Is that even the right word? This
Yeah,
pit break.
I guess, yeah.
And then you have to disassemble an entire engine because the chance that this nut or washer got in there, albeit a small chance, you have to redo everything.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
So that's a different level of, I got to be honest, I might be the guy half the time who's it's probably not in there. I think we're okay.
Nobody wants to be that guy because when the light turns green and half the engine goes that way, it's everyone's gonna look at you and be like, "Are you sure it's not in there?"
Is that the level? I mean, is that the level of detail we're talking about?
I think that with the customizing car type thing, I think that a way maybe I could relate it to you. It's almost it's very similar to music where the car has its own feel. I don't know how to describe it, right? And I don't necessarily, it's not just one or two things. It's all these tiny little details that create an overall feel of the car. And I think it's like music. Some people get it and some people don't. I think that it's different in every case of what makes the car feel a certain way, or it's I'm trying to relate it to a punk band, but it's it's if you listen to the Chats, it's that is a punk band. They're young kids and it's new, but they get it. That's a punk band.
I don't know the Chats.
Oh no, they're these kids from Australia.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, they're very cool. I mean, super simple songs, or it's the Bouncing Souls. Dude, that's a punk band. Those dudes get it, right? But then there's other bands. I don't want to say who they are because that's kind of shitty. But that it's oh, this is you guys sat down and we're gonna make a punk band, and it's it doesn't work. You have you have the look and you have the guitars and the tone is right and everything, but there's something about it that's not. I'll say who it is, and I like the band. It's okay.
Nobody pushed you. I want
He's
to be
looking at
very
me he wants to know.
Oh, Bill was pushing you with his mind.
Yeah, I love.
He was
the band.
coming a little bit like this.
Yeah.
Shape.
I love the band, but when I went to see them, I'm oh, this is they decided to make this. It's a manufactured thing. I don't know, and and it's good. I like it, but it's not what the Bouncing Souls are.
Well, that's what makes a lot of us unable to enjoy things.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to compare the two bands and say one's better than the other, but I'm just saying it's
no. What you're saying makes sense. It makes sense to me.
Rick Rubin, his whole philosophy. He's just like, you can't sit down and say you're going to make this type of album or that type.
Yeah,
of album.
I'm a huge fan of him. I apply so much of his
Yeah.
philosophy to
Yeah.
like my life in general.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like,
same.
you're gonna go and I'm just gonna paint.
Yes.
And it may end up looking like this. You can't say I'm gonna go paint a Van Gogh.
Right.
Or I'm gonna go make a punk album. I'm just gonna make an album.
Right.
And at the end, you're like
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if it comes out sounding like nothing, even better. Like nothing else relates to it, good, even better. It's
That's a great point.
yeah.
That's a great point. You just dive in because, well, then that's the only chance you have of presenting yourself in
Right.
your work.
Right.
It's the only chance you have, or else it's this thing,
Yeah.
which is, I get what you're saying. Like, that's fine. And I don't love, but I like a good amount of art that's that. But what do they say? Real recognizes real. So
Right.
if you're like at a certain level with something, and that doesn't mean like technical level. It doesn't mean like, I know, I'm not trying to sound like arrogant about certain
No,
things,
I get
but like
it.
if you've been around something for long enough, like you just get it.
Right.
If you don't, that's a problem. It's okay when you're young. So, but it also makes you unable to enjoy like so many.
Oh,
things.
forget. Yeah, you can't enjoy anything anymore.
We could probably just have a show just hating.
Oh, that's for sure.
Maybe that's the sideshow. Hey, welcome to another episode of Hating.
Yeah.
There's got to be a
Mark
show
Maron,
called
you know.
Hating.
Yeah.
Mark
Sign me up.
Maron.
Yeah.
It's like you
Yeah.
can't enjoy anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean, once I got to a certain level of like painting cars, like I can't even. I like when people are like, "Oh, I just finished my car." I'm like, I don't even want to see it. It's like,
Fuck your car.
yeah, not to. But I'm just, it's very nice, and now I'm a fucking liar because I'm sitting over here saying, "Oh, it's nice," and it's fucking striped to shit, and the door doesn't line up, but it's nice. You know, I mean, it's you can't enjoy any of it once you get to like the certain level. Now you're
That's one of the weirdest, but I think kind of one of the fun things about being all in. And it doesn't have to be someone's career to be all in. It could totally just be a side hustle, or it could just be a something you enjoy doing. But it's to the point where you're getting angry about things.
Oh, that's my specialty, bro.
All right, off the top of your head, in the world of automotive, what's pissing you off the most? Let's go.
Oh God, everyone.
Every person, every car.
Yes.
I know you hate Teslas.
No, I don't care. I they're cool. I mean,
I don't know. I remember you saying, "Why would I want to drive in something that looks like a jelly bean?" Those were your words, I believe.
but was it about a Tesla or was it about a Toyota?
The Tesla got the jelly bean call.
Did it? I don't remember that one. I might have been in a bad mood that day. It's very possible.
Oh, everything was a jelly bean that day.
Well,
He's a jelly bean.
Yeah.
That's a jelly bean.
I think automotive design right now is in a bad place where just everything looks like that, and it's like there's nobody. It's like everything. It's like movies and music. There's no more risk. There's no more taking a chance on something wild. It's like because it's whatever this is familiar and palatable and marketable. So like we have to. It's just all about, I guess, being able to sell it or whatever.
Well, definitely in art. You
Yeah.
know, you see that all the time. Movies.
Yeah.
I've never been much of a television guy, but I know it's there. Certainly music.
Yeah.
Like when you're in, I feel like we're in a phase, we, as in maybe just the culture at large, of safety,
Totally.
which, okay, things ebb and flow. That's totally fine. It disgusts me. But it's also like, well, that will end.
I hope.
And there'll be some good stuff behind it. I
Yeah.
think there'll be some good ideas and probably a lot of despicable, terrible, shitty stuff, just disturbing. But like, you know,
Yeah.
those things flush out with the good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like they flush out with the good. What's like your dream car? Like if you could go, what do you want? But it's of the year. So like it's, hey, you're in 1920 something or you're in 1970 something. What, do you have any car crushes?
Not really.
Have any car crushes?
No, I mean, there's cars that I like, but I could never. It's like, I just like so many different ones, I guess, that I couldn't be like, oh, this is like my dream car. If that like makes sense. I mean,
You love everything. You hate everything. This is what I'm getting from.
well, I mean, yeah,
you don't have like I want a really nice framed picture of the whatever it is.
I mean, yeah, like I don't know. There are some I really like pre-war Fords. So you would say like any Ford between like 1928 and 1936, like that era of Ford. I like
28 to 36.
yeah, like I like those a lot, and I mean they're very obtainable. It's not like they're hard to get. I own one now.
When did Ford start like assembly line making cars? Like,
some crazy like 1909 or something like that.
Okay, so that was a good decade and a half in.
This is my wheelhouse.
Is it? Oh yeah, it's social studies. Yeah, go ahead.
They definitely like ramped up in the 20s. Like that's kind of when they perfected like the Model T mass production.
Yeah,
where they were charging like $200 a car because they could make them so quickly.
Yeah,
so
it's amazing.
It's crazy, right?
So you have a lot of love for that era.
Yeah, that's like I love those, and then like like you're saying the 70s, like I just love these like big gaudy Cadillacs, like they're just
that's the Italian in you.
So yeah, that's what I was raised around. Yeah,
that's some guinea shit.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I know. I'm not even a car person. I'm like, oh, that's my Uncle Vito's
right?
car.
Yeah,
oh, that's Uncle Junior's car.
Yeah. More shit to clean. They love cleaning. It's a perfect vehicle.
Yeah, what is it with like overly cleaning?
My father was crazy. It's don't touch the glass. You know, like why you gotta put your fingers on the glass?
And it's like that in the house too. I told you I'm more like an Italian grandma than I am like a overbearing Italian father. Yeah, probably. But like I'm like, oh, just clean that.
Yeah,
you know, you're never using like a tool to clean something. Like, no, I want to be on my hands and knees.
Yeah, the hardest way possible.
I want to make it as painful and stupid as possible.
And I'm gonna let everyone know that that's what I had to do.
Like a vegan.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
If you'll notice, I just clean that. But anyway, come in and step on it anyway.
Right, yeah. Did you see me on my hands and knees? No, walk over. Go ahead. Don't worry about it. Yeah. That's exactly how it is.
Well, oh man, Russ Montelbano, I really appreciate you coming on the show today, man. We're gonna have some links to some of your work.
Cool.
In the episode. I appreciate you. I appreciate the work you're doing. Come on again sometime.
Anytime.
We'll have a Hayton.
We'll
have a Hayton episode.
For the Hayton episode.
You guys want to do one for Hayton?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, brother.
All right. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.